Good morning. Welcome to the show where the wings are spicy and the jokes are spicier. Let me start by saying that this day is a great day. It's a sunny Friday in Mankato, and for the past few days, I've been having a considerable amount of trouble getting motivated in the mornings. My allergies have been pretty impeding on my motivation. It also grants me the power of sleeping 12 or more hours if I do not set an alarm, which is a lot of fun. So that's what's been happening. Waking up late and moving really slow. But today, I started my morning with a bike ride and a short ab workout with some pull-ups. I got the pull-up bar finally over here. And some stretching, and wow, my motivation is through the roof. It felt like a good day. I did the dishes today, I made avocado toast today, and now I'm making this. It's a good day today. Also, look what came up in my Facebook memories. Remember the mission trip in Brooklyn? What a memory. Thanks, Facebook. Before I hop into the rest of this video, I want to let you know what's been happening at my house. So we are currently in a transition of old roommates and new roommates. So the house is just filled to the brim with stuff. I don't know how we ended up with double digits in couches, but I know everyone will have a comfy place to sit. Cross my couch and hope to cry. My friend Gage and I hauled away 3 truck beds full of old house junk already to free up space, and that space was already quickly filled. The perks of living in a fraternity house. There's a lot of stuff. But to be honest, I'm pretty excited to see this new era of housemates as the people I joined with this fraternity are beginning to graduate, myself included, and now the young guys are taking over, so we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, I am here to talk about my spontaneous camping trip to South Dakota from this past weekend. I wish we could use licensed music for these videos because there are so many songs I would like to use to create the ultimate, perfect, pinnacle, big kahuna, cream of the crop vibe. But no, can't use Willie Nelson in my video. Know when to walk away. Oh shit, that's Kenny Rogers. Same thing. But without further ado, I put on my big boy flamingo pants. Let's get tropical. The crew that went to South Dakota included myself, Tim, Caleb, and Gage. We were going on a very budget-friendly camping trip to hike the Badlands and Black Hills of South Dakota. Firstly, I don't have any camping equipment, so there needed to be a quick pit stop at my mom's house to grab her tent, air mattresses, cooking grate, basically everything we needed. Thank you so much, Mom. We started our drive on Friday, which was about 6 hours, and on the way, I was exploring music with Tim, such as psychedelic rock. Now, I'm talking White Room by Cream. I'm talking mainly just White Room by Cream. It was a gorgeous drive as golden hour began to hit and do this color spectrum in the sky. You can see each color transitioning into the next. When we arrived, which was at nighttime, we had to set up the tent and then we just sat around the fire. Caleb had downloaded a constellation app so we could locate constellations because at the campsite, the stars were so vibrant and clear. We were able to see the Big Dipper, Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, all of the above. We woke up pretty early out of excitement, simply just couldn't sleep. And I want to say it was 5:30 in the morning. And of course, the air mattress that Caleb and I were using deflated in the night. So the ground and I got to know each other pretty kindly.
I squeezed Tim last night.
We started the morning with over-the-fire pancakes, which was incredibly difficult because the cooking grate would swing around, which was kind of funny. And it took a minute to get the fire hot enough to fully cook the pancakes. They were pretty pale looking at first, but we started to hit our stride a few pancakes in. This one goes out to the fallen pancakes of the world. I believe in you. After breakfast, got our hiking clothes on, filled our waters, then drove to our first trail of the Badlands, which was called the Notch Trail. Upon first glimpse of the Badlands, there was this huge resemblance to the Grand Canyon. It felt like a miniature Grand Canyon. Beautiful rock formations, so many things to climb on. I just felt like a kid again with how excited I was to just start climbing rocks. Fun fact number 1, Tim did not have hiking shoes and spent the whole weekend wearing Vans. Not just any Vans, Vans off the wall. So kudos to you, Tim, for not dying. I was definitely scared for your life a number of times. Anyway, the Notch Trail was about a 1.5 mile loop into the Badlands with multiple viewpoints to see the full full glimpse of the Badlands. Part of the trail included a wood log ladder because why not? Mind you, it was real early in the morning too, so every now and then we would check the time and be like, it's not even 9 o'clock yet, and just collectively let out the grunt. But getting up that early and having the sun come up gradually during the hike was stunning. The sky started out as overcast, but cleared up into this clear blue against the dusty tan rocks. It was undeniably beautiful. So I'm gonna let the clips roll and show you what I mean. Fun fact number 2, Gage brought a machete on the hike. I assumed it was simply for an aesthetic crocodile hunter look, but the way he was swinging it around, it told me he really wanted to use it, which is scary. After the Notch Trail and scaling some rocks, we stopped for a quick lunch of protein bars, jerky, PBJs, and MREs. Gage brought only MREs for the entire trip, which includes a pack of laxative gum, because the whole purpose of an MRE, beyond feeding you and giving you your calories, is to plug you up like a wine cork. So they give you laxative gum until you're ready to relieve yourself. After lunch, we decided to tackle one of the longer trails called the Castle Trail. It was 4 miles one way, and this trail took you more along the outside boundaries of Badland formations. It was through the prairie fields, through the rock, felt kind of like a desert there for a minute. This is when the sun was fully out and directly overhead. That intense sun against the bright rocks, it felt like we were on a march. You remember the movie Holes with Shia LaBeouf when they were just on their way to start digging their holes? That's kind of how it felt like. You know the theme song for that song? You've got to go dig those holes. I played that song during the hike just to set the tone, and because, you know, because I'm a catch. It just felt like we were on a march to do some hard labor, and by hard labor, I just mean sitting our happy asses down and drinking water. Along the way, there was this photo op we took, and it looked like the cover album to either a Christian rock group or a folk singing group. You decide. Faith plus one. We finally got to the end of the trail, and my feet were hurting pretty bad, so I could only imagine how Tim's feet were feeling in those absolute genuine quality Vans off the wall. At the end of the trail, we thought there was going to be another water fill station, and we could not be more wrong. There was no more water there, and so we were just kind of stuck there. We didn't have enough water to go back the way we came, so the option was to either walk back or hopefully find someone who would be nice enough to give us a ride to our original trailhead. So I had to hitchhike with this really nice family to the original trailhead. But here's the kicker. When I got there, I realized I put my car keys into Gage's bag. Why did I do that, do you ask? I don't know. Brain aneurysm? Maybe? So Gage then had to hitchhike, even though we thought we only had to hitchhike one time. He hitchhiked with a traveling couple from the UK to bring me my keys. I felt very awkward trying to ask that family to give us a ride, considering I kind of looked like a bum with my hair at the time. At this point in the day, it was only like 2 o'clock with a lot more to see. So we went back to our camp, but first we got some Dairy Queen, which was delightful. And we packed up our tent, got our stuff, and headed towards the Black Hills. The family I rode with told me about a swimming hole in the Black Hills called the Hippie Hole, which involved cliff jumping. They said there was a lot of people like college age out there just hanging out. So that's where we headed to cool off and wash off. Driving into the Black Hills was breathtaking. The viewpoints of the forest were something else. See for yourself. We hiked down into the Hippie Hole, and that family was right when they said that we would love it. The water was nice and cool. It felt like an oasis surrounded by a sea of green trees in our own little hidden corner of the world. Took the opportunity to take some nice photos in the area after swimming, which was right at golden hour and proved to be some sexy photo ops. Take a look. Fun fact number 3. The drive to the Hippie Hole was a dirt road, chock full of potholes and mounds. So if this here shaker bottle was the mound, and this here incense holder is my car, that's what it looked like. I wasn't down here, I wasn't over here, I was right here for like a split second, and then got off and dragged the rest of my undercarriage on the mound. After the Hippie Hole, we headed to our next campsite in the Black Hills. Mind you, everything I had told you about our hike and the Hippie Hole, it all happened in one day. We were beat, and I'm talking like Schrute Farms beat. Good one. We got into the campsite in the dark again, and Mom's tent didn't hold up. It was broken from the get-go, and we were able to finagle it the first night, but this night we just weren't having it. So it was sleeping in the cars for us. The next day, day 2, we were so tired that we just weren't having it. We didn't want to do any more stuff. We just stopped at Perkins, had a massive meal, and made our way home.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. And it's going in the vlog. Oh, great.
At the conclusion of this trip, there were a few key takeaways that I got to bring home with me. Number 1, having friends who are willing to spontaneously go on a rugged trip like this, it's an absolute blessing. Each person adds their own personality to the dynamic, making the experience that much more fun and whole. So I want to thank Gage, Tim, and Caleb for making this experience so memorable. Although it was a short trip in terms of days, it felt like a long, fulfilling trip with how much we did. Number 2, having a willingness to let go of life's comforts opens many doorways for exploration. I used to be the person who always had to be clean, or the person where the slightest inconvenience to me would make me mad. Ryan, angry. On this trip, you had to come to terms with getting dirty, being inconvenienced by the terrain, getting wet without having a towel. You know, first world problems. The sooner you got in tune with it, the sooner you had more fun. And number 3, you can do a lot with a little. This is something I also took away from our time in Washington. All we had was a car and sandwich stuff, nothing else. Yet we got to go see some of the world's most spectacular sights just with those things. It was the same in South Dakota with the addition of camping gear, and we made it work. We weren't there for the food. We were there for the hike. We were there for the experience. Otherwise, my dude, that was the trip, and it was amazing. Not to mention, it costed less than $100.
Woo!
Not bad. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this, and real quick, your bookshelf in your last video is now a book blockade. You are suffocating that little bookshelf, and it is, dare I say, hilarious. But, see you next week. But I'll see you next week.
What the fuck, Richard?